With me on the show, it's Ibrahim Abubakar.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Iniobong, how are you today?
Good to be here.
Last week we discussed about managers that are likely to be putted out. And it's just like we are just soothsayers. Before you know it, Potter was thrown out. The others hanging. But that's not our discussion for today. Our discussion for today is also links to, coaches' performance. But this time around, we're looking at Liverpool Football Club. And Slot, in his first season, he won the Premier League. Fantastic. But now at the start of the new season, after spending over £300 million on players' recruitment with record British record fee, it's surprising that Liverpool are yet to find their rhythm. Last season, the kind of rhythm they had last season, so far they lost back-to-back defeat. Crystal Palace stunned them as if it was not over. Galatasaray, our own Victor Osimhen, the man that sold gala on the street of Lagos, served the Liverpool gala on the Champions League night. So we're going to talk about that and what that means for Arne Slot team, moving forward this season, because it's like those players he bought are they're yet to fit into the system, and what does it mean for their Premier League title defense. With me here, Abubakar. So what do you make of, yes, Liverpool have spent so much money, no doubt, but the question is that, they say buying the players at the right position. Jota Diaz left for Bayern, and we look at the recruitment. For me, I have not seen the kind of recruitment that's suiting to those players that left. And you have Isak, you have created from this thing. How do you have two players, top strikers, playing the same position? And I felt that you should have, there's no need buying Isak or maybe go for any of those players. They use that fund to recruit other departments like the defense. Now it's too early for Liverpool to suffer back-to-back defeats. What does it make for the team and Slot team?
I feel like the team is coming back to what they call, what's the word now? When you have enough. Last season, they didn't even really do too well, but they won the EPL. Because if you look at the table, they won with 84 points. That's the lowest since Leicester City won the Premier League. It has over 9-10 years. So, personally, I think what Arne Slot tried to do or did in the transfer market was to bring in two top strikers. Chelsea did it. It panned out with Didier Drogba and Anelka at a point. Then we had Didier Drogba and Crespo at a point. So then Didier Drogba and Diego Costa at a point. You see, so I feel getting two top strikers is not the problem, but the problem is not, bringing like for likes. When you have a Robert that left for Madrid, then you also have Luis Diaz that left for Bayern Munich. These are core players in the team that won the EPL last season. These are players that they give assists and they score goals and they defend. So you're supposed to go to the market and get. Yes, they did the market with Frimpong, not bad, but as he really lift, gets to that level where it's okay. Yes, this is a like for like replacement. No, but it's still just how many games into the EPL. But then two back-to-back losses, losing to Crystal Palace and Galatasaray is not nothing to write home about. Galatasaray was battered, not beaten, battered by Frankfurt.
Yeah, they were seriously
5 goals to 1.
They were seriously battered.
And then the same team is playing against Liverpool. Liverpool could not get a goal. They hardly got 3 goals or 3 shots on goal on the night. So it's a problem I feel Arne Slot has seen, and probably one of the reasons why he got 2 top strikers, because he probably thought, okay, we need to be scoring more goals. Salah is not at his prime anymore. Luis Diaz is no longer there to push for the ball. So you need players who can get something out of nothing. Ekitike and Isak are players that could get you that. However, the likes of Wirtz from Leverkusen are also not live up to expectation. He's not, gel with the team yet. So I think the problem now is the fact that they've not come together as a team. They are literally, trying to come together as a team to bring that mechanism together to work as a team. But for now, they are not doing that, and it's affecting the team generally.
Fantastic. I was going to go there because when Arne Slot won the league, he apparently built on the club's, tactics and formation. He didn't disrupt the team, and I think he bought 1 or 2 unknown players. And I think now he is trying to get his own formation. And my question to you, Iniobong, that he's trying to get his own formation, trying to play his own philosophy, but it's like he's not yielding. He's not using his. And do you think, there's nothing wrong in getting 2 strikers. But again, may I still feel that there are other departments that you need to beef up. You mentioned earlier, Ibrahim, that we all knew that Salah is old. And there were reports that, okay, why don't you? Because those strikers can't do magic. They need people to feel them. And if you look at the way Isak and Ekreke play, they are standalone strikers that they are not like strikers like Harry Kane or Benzema that come from the middle, build up play and all of that. These are standalone strikers that they need people to feed them. So me, I was feeling that he could have getting some players, creative players in the middle and try to beef up defense so that our own player Demola Lookman was touted that okay, maybe as maybe Salah is getting old to work with him and all of that. So iniobong, Scott is trying to bring his own philosophy. Do you think it's working or do you think it will work?
I think it's too early for you guys to begin to lament that Liverpool is not performing. I think you should also realize the fact that the Premiership is more competitive. Most of the teams have spent money. You don't forget the fact that there is more money coming from advertisement. So each of the club have more money to spend. Even the club that just came back from the Championship, Sunderland and Ipswich, they have look at the play. They bought exciting players. Who defeated Liverpool?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace won the FA Cup last season.
But that was depleted Crystal Palace. Some of their big players left.
Crystal Palace have
lost 2. Their big players left.
They are beating the last 18 matches.
If you check Liverpool before that defeat, they struggled to win some matches that they have to like 9 minutes go. So you could see the sign. By this time, Liverpool last season, we were all firing.
Crystal Palace is not a small team. They defeated Man City. And they've not lost
Crystal Palace, as far as English football is concerned, as far as if you are to rate top clubs in Europe, in England, Crystal Palace is a middle table.
It's calling form. But form. They've not lost the last 18 matches.
19 now. They won the Europa last night.
For them defeating.
So would you use that as a yardstick to rate Liverpool?
I think, like I just said, the Premiership is more competitive now. The clubs have more money to spend. They are bringing in new players. So some of these top teams, some of these clubs you think are top team, will lose matches.
Yes,
they will lose matches. Man City have lost about two matches this season. Arsenal have lost also. Chelsea have lost. So for the players he has brought in, I think they will gel. It take time. Isak, me and you, we agree that these guys are very good players. We saw what Isak did last season in Newcastle. We saw what the kids did.
Who will feed these guys? That's the question.
I think he brought in about five, 6 players.
Who will feed?
He brought the guy from Wirtz from Leverkusen. He also brought.
You just mentioned that Wirtz are not.
Frimpong is a very good player. So they will deliver.
Who do you think is a like for like replacement for Diaz that left for Bayern?
I think Isak. Diaz is the kind of player that they have been there over he played before he left. He was in Liverpool for at least 2-3 seasons.
But do you think he's doing well? Don't you know he's doing well at Bayern?
I know he's doing well. You don't judge player like that. Sometimes he take a certain player some time to settle into a team. Some settle in onto I think Ekiti has not really done bad. He has scored like 3-4 goals.
No more. He's done well.
So the question here that
Isak
those strikers are fantastic strikers. But what we are saying is that
who is replacing Diaz?
You check them in their attacking football. These strikers, they can't perform alone. You need people. If Salah gets injured, now there is problem.
Yeah, because even if you watch the game, I guess
if Salah gets injured now,
right.
You know there will be problems.
It didn't start, and you could sense that there's no direction in the Liverpool team. There was no direction in the Liverpool team.
He actually kept some players for this weekend. I think they are playing last night.
You're playing, no, I think Chelsea. They
are playing Chelsea this season.
You're playing a depleted Chelsea. You're not supposed to be benching Salah.
He benched Salah.
It comes to the point that I mentioned earlier.
I think
it comes to the point that I mentioned to you earlier that you need people that can support these guys. These guys are good strikers. If they get good football, people that will feed them, they are standalone strikers.
He has bought some good midfielders. He brought this guy Wirtz from Leverkusen. And he has Gravenberch that's been performing excellently well. And he has continued this. I think their team is full. Their team is complete. What they need to do now is to gel.
How about the defense line?
The defense line is
No,
there.
the defense line is porous.
But
It's porous.
the other guy,
The
they
defense is
may
shaky.
not be the best. They may not be doing very well. Of course, they concede. But I still think if you look at the midfield and the attack, I think Liverpool still have the best attacking throw now in the Premiership.
No, I doubt that. So if you ask
They
me,
may not be scoring the way you
Yeah,
think, but I think
yeah.
on the long run they will deliver.
so,
Okay, they will deliver.
You think Liverpool, the way they are playing, they stand a chance of
They are still on top.
replicating last season's form
I think they
in
would.
terms of Premier League and Champions League? Do you think they can replicate that form?
You cannot really say I'm not a susu.
Because they need to do more because they spend
what
so
I'm
much
saying
more
is
money.
that what I'm saying they will compete for the Premiership and the Champions League. And you're already saying that they're already on top in the Premiership, in the Champions League. I think they also compete because they have the squad, they have the depth, and they have the attackers to score goals. I think these guys will deliver with time. They may not be. Last season nobody gave them a chance. They were clinical. They took everybody. They took everybody by surprise. It's not easy for you to perform. Man City won the league consecutively for 4 times, but I think Slot is not Guardiola, but I think they are still on top. They are not doing very bad. They may not be 100 because he has brought in some new players. These players will take him time to gel.
So I think he got so many players that he's not giving him a headache, a problem now. He got up to like 5 players coming into the new season. So sometimes it might be a problem. And sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Because if you were to look at how many teams have done this in the past couple of years, probably says Chelsea. But then what has Chelsea has to show for it?
Chelsea brought a lot of players.
Yeah, but Chelsea also let go of so many players. That's what.
And Liverpool let go so many players.
So now
than
you need to bring life for light. If let's say you're letting go of 15 players, at least bring back 10.
Yes.
No, if you're not getting 15 back, just bring back 10.
Go of
so 10 that can make things happen.
And
so you're playing a Chelsea that has lost to Brighton. Chelsea lost, I think, 3 back-to-back games in the EPL, and they also lost to
Man United.
Man United, then Brighton. A Man United team that is not there this season so far. Then Brighton that's also struggling. Chelsea has lost, and they lost.
Brighton is a big side. They
Why do you call Brighton a big side?
They're a big side. They may not be
a big side. They are middle table.
They may not be the last season. I think they end 8 or 7.
When it
comes to top club, when they come to top club, they always find a way to.
So when you say Brighton,
they always find a way to challenge.
Those guys are middle table, but they can create top club.
Yes, I understand. But now Chelsea has lost 2 back-to-back games. That should be a positive for Liverpool. That going into this game, we're playing these guys that are depleted. Yeah, we don't need to bench a Salah playing Galatasaray at home. You are away, so you benching Salah, you bench a couple of players. Then eventually, when you brought them on, nothing happened. They were expecting a penalty kick in the last minute, but it didn't happen. Also, so you don't have to expect keen on last minute goals.
That's not been happening. That's not been happening before they lost.
It's like the Manchester Arsenal team that were always
that's what happened.
Focusing on.
You always see that that form is
set piece is coming down. As a matter of fact, I believe they've been struggling since last season. I believe they've been struggling, but they were clinical. Yes, but they were clinical with last season. They concede this common. They concede this common, but this season they've been conceding and they've not been scoring more as we expected. Okay. Yeah, Isak is not fit yet. Ekitike is doing wonderfully well, but who is feeding Ekitike in the long run?
And those guys,
but they have a very good midfielder. If those midfielders are not delivering, fine.
But they don't have the best midfielder in England.
They have the Argentina guy. They have the Argentina guy.
Arsenal. I want to ask you,
who was the best player in Germany last.
I want to ask you, Nlebem, do you think Slot is under pressure now?
I don't think he's under pressure. He's not under pressure.
He's not under pressure.
He's not under pressure. Just won the Premiership and he's on top.
Okay,
and let me
under pressure. Let me ask you again. If he fails to win at Stamford Bridge, will he be under pressure?
He failed to
winning Chelsea.
I think anybody will.
No, I just ask him if he fails to win. So that will make 1, 2, 3
games, 3 back-to-back games.
Would that put him under pressure? And you know what's about Premier League?
Yes.
They say apart from Premier, they say a manager you are as good as your present results.
Yeah.
Obviously, no manager.
So if he fails to win. If you check Chelsea too, they'll be struggling too. They are both sides struggling, but again, Chelsea had advantage of playing at home. If Liverpool fails to win against Chelsea, do you think Slot will be making positive headlines?
Obviously, no coach want to lose 3.
I'm just saying, we are just saying, because he's saying
but
that
if he lost 3 consecutive matches, obviously he want to bounce back.
But it will be under pressure.
He's back
because
to
even Pep, even though he was not sacked at City, he was under a lot of pressure last season when
Because
he
you know
was
what
losing
it
those
means to
games. Because you're not losing just
1, 2,
you're losing 3 games. And before
Serial-
before the
serially.
Crystal Palace game, Liverpool
what
has
it
won,
means?
I think, 7 straight
for
games.
champions, for a Premier League
the
winner.
reason why I'm saying that Slot won the Premiership last season and he went.
But
fine
people
in
say
Champions
he won it, but not with his own effort that he built on. No, but again, wait.
No, it's true.
No.
Who is
He
saying that?
rode on club shot, but now those some players have left. He's trying to bring his own philosophy, but you people have seen that it's not working yet. It might work later, but it's not working yet. And if they fail, the earlier they get to that form, the better for him. But if he continue like this, the coach will be under serious pressure because you can't spend that kind of
if
money.
He won the Premiership. Slot won the Premiership last season because he knows what he's doing. He had a good player.
How many players did he
and
buy?
he had
How many players did he
he came
buy
in-
that
he
made
came
impact
into
on that
meet
team
he
last
came
season?
in to meet a good team and
Enough,
a good players and was able to bring his own tactical ingenuity and they did well and they won the league.
So-
Look at Man U.
No, Man U is a great
They brought Sinamoli. They brought Sinamoli.
But when you're already
You see,
I'm telling you, constructing view of
so if you want to
two
talk about, so
managers.
let's even bring in Manchester United here before we go. You look at it, the Manchester
God.
United in 3-4-3 years that the Amorim is doing his formation. Is that same formation that this guy, the manager of Crystal Palace, has been working with,
And he's
he's
getting
gotten
results.
19 results. Like he has not lost
19
in
game
19 games,
unbeaten.
and
All
he's using
competition,
the same 3-4-3 formation. So what is the problem with Amorim? Is it an issue of players? Because if you mention players, like Rashford assisted over in the Champions League game for Barcelona. Oilon
It's about
scored a
manager.
goal.
It's about-
Scored a goal. Anthony scored goals. You see, so many of this week in the Champions League and the Europa Cup in Europe generally, you saw ex-Manchester United players doing wonderfully well.
No, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's overwhelmed by the
Okay,
job. He doesn't know what.
we
And
know.
the earlier Man U remove Amorim, Man U is not going
But
anywhere.
again,
I said it.
If they-
I've said it over times. And
me, I feel
tomorrow,
I feel that, on this Slot matter, if they fail to get results at Chelsea, Slot, I trust English press. They need to do their job. They'll begin to let you know that, something is not right. All these things we pointed out, you realize that they'll begin to point it out. Because all these things we discuss about,
Yes.
likes for likes,
But it's still on- you will still be on top.
they're on top, just 2 points. It's just that Arsenal, I'm sorry to say for the Arsenal fans, I don't mean anyhow. Arsenal is just a team that you can't rely on.
No, there's nothing to be sorry to say about.
No, I'm so sorry.
They are
Arsenal fans.
so unreliable.
In those days when City were in form,
Yes.
you can say, okay, this Liverpool is, but because Arsenal, you can't trust them. They had fantastic players on the squad, but again, oh my God, well, let's hope they win
the Premiership is more.
And,
The Premiership is more tougher.
Yeah, it's
more
tougher,
tougher.
yeah.
Even Arsenal had to.
And that's why they're spending money.
Even Arsenal had to score a last-minute goal against
Premier League. Do you know what Premier League spend over
Newcastle.
just
But Newcastle is not a
they
small
spend
team.
over
So everybody will struggle.
they
The
spend
big
so
team will
much
lose.
money.
The big team will lose too.
They spend so much money. That's why they're spending
No,
money.
losing is
because
not the
it's big.
problem. Back-to-back losing is the
Here's
problem.
the problem.
Because
If Slot
you
goes
spent
to-
over 300
Inside
over
fails to
300
win.
million pounds just in this transfer market. Over
Come on.
300 million pounds, and you're losing to Crystal Palace.
What are you telling
You're
me?
losing
He spent
to
450.
50 over.
So you know what that means?
You'd expect
That's the
something.
valuation of like 3 or 4 championship teams.
No, he was defeated by Galatasaray. Champions League is not a
But do you know my joy? Do you
It's
know
not
my
a
joy in
child's
that
play.
defeat?
It's
Do
not
you
a
know my
child's
joy
play.
in that defeat? Osimhen, because of the way Premier League
Yes.
clubs snubbed him,
Exactly.
and he needed to prove a point.
Yeah, Oshie had to put it point.
Yes, and he proved it. He just came back from injury.
Yes.
People say when you are injured, you come back, you are likely to struggle 2-3 matches, but he punished.
Oshie had to put it point.
Even-
They asked him- they-
It was a bold statement to
the-
Chelsea,
you know,
to Liverpool,
they asked
to
Slot.
Arsenal, to all the top
They
City and United.
they asked Slot before the game.
Because look at the players they
Before the
brought.
game, why didn't you sign
Kona,
this year?
Bonu, Ekrite, I'm sorry to say, except for maybe Isak, Osimhen is a top striker, and I don't see why English clubs snubbed him.
No, they asked the coach, they asked Slot before the game, why didn't you sign Osimhen? He said Osimhen was not in the picture. They didn't have. They were not serious about signing. They are not serious about signing. And they had their eyes were on Ekite and Isak.
But the guy punished them.
Yeah. And if you watch the game, he was actually even injured during the game. He was kicked once or twice, and then you saw Alisson also being injured due to trying to save one of his shots. I think he made a statement already, scoring that penalty kick, and also making sure that Alisson goes back to Anfield injured.
Yes.
Now Alisson will not be playing the Chelsea game.
So
then this is what one of the reasons why I said his move to Galatasaray is not totally bad, because Galatasaray is playing the Champions League.
Yeah,
you get to see more of
Osimhen.
It's more. Then a season or two, you see maybe a big club there will now feel okay. This guy has been there, done that. And
there's no all of us admit the fact that there's no doubt about Osimhen potentials.
Yes.
I think there's more to that, the fact that he didn't go to a top club in England. I think probably for me, I think the agent actually worked against him.
Yeah, I don't think
someone that emerged the best player in Italy. Italy went to Turkey, was the best player, highest scorer. So
the club didn't show interest. Now look at Man U, but
even your parents.
Kuna, all those players, are they better than Osimhen?
Even the Arsenal team with Gyökeres are not doing wonderfully well with the guy. How many goals has he scored? So
wow,
even Pedro had a very wonderful season last season. Pedro from Brighton to Chelsea, but then he's lost that form in the last 2-3 games. So yeah, that's I feel. Neglecting Osimhen is a mistake on the part of any big top.
Wow! Interesting.
See the features for this weekend.
Wow! Would have loved to talk about the fixture, but the biggest one we talked about is Chelsea and Liverpool. Hello, fans. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Would have loved to continue, but we'll have time. But we hope to extend the time soon. That's all we can give to you on this show, and we hope that Liverpool get back to winning ways. And for the Liverpool fans, keep supporting our slots. And we hope that you guys get the results and let the pressure move away from slots. Thank you for watching. My name still remains Anthony Nlebem, your uncle. Ibrahim, thank you for having you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's see how Man U wins.
If Man U fails to win this weekend, that could be the end of Amri.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. See you next week. Bye.